Boom. And we even have the overlay working this time. It wasn't working last
Yay.
week. I don't know
At
why.
home?
Like, I would make it invisible, then make it visible, and it just wouldn't show up. Now, I guess it's working. I guess it's OBS is playing nice with it. I don't know. OBS is weird.
It very much is. Have you been
Yeah.
keeping it up to date or something?
Yeah. I haven't gotten a prompt for an update in a while.
Okay.
So,
Maybe that's your problem.
I only open it and close it on Mondays.
All right, so I need help really quick with something.
uh.
Are you guys familiar with Warhammer 40K lore and Doom lore?
No.
Not
Is the
really.
answer to that question?
You guys can't help me then.
No.
No, not really.
Why would you come to us for help? Are you fucking insane? Oh, I am really feeling this beer already.
Jesus, man. Well, hello
11%.
everybody, and welcome to Locked and Loaded. Obviously, you can see we are totally, completely, unproductively impaired. I mean, prepared.
6 one, half a dozen the other.
We have a we have a show tonight. For
Yeah.
everybody. It's hot as balls here. I don't know if it's the same over there with you, because I don't know if you got any AC, but right now it's just ugh,
I
muggy.
don't have AC. It is a balmy 80 degrees outside.
Ugh.
It got all the way up to 87 while I was working,
Yeah.
but that's not something that actually bothers me, so
Bothers me. I can't do it. It's
Yeah,
gross.
I think earlier this week it was 81, and I got back from work and I'm just like, I've got my shirt off, I'm just in my chair and there is sweat pouring down my back. It's like, what the hell? Why is it so hot? And then it hasn't been hot since then. It's been tolerable.
See, right now it's actually pretty solidly disgusting.
Get a fan. I
Yeah,
don't know.
see,
do
I
you
would.
do you have a fan and a window? That'll solve some problems.
I would, but you guys can all hear it.
Would you prefer heat stroke? I don't think you
It's
would.
only okay, so it's only 80 degrees. I'm not gonna get heat stroke from 80 degrees, but I am going to be incredibly uncomfortable.
Hmm. Oh, it's gonna take me a while to get through this stout. Jesus.
Well, we got articles.
Yeah, we do. How was everyone's week? Just the usual.
I have been doing nothing but editing and then working my shitty ass job. And that's really about it.
About the
I've
same.
been staying up really late. Most nights. Doing right now we're in a process of me and another guy finalizing the edit. He's doing sound and I'm doing video, and whenever we both sit down to this computer, I swear we make the job harder.
Are you trying to share the same keyboard? Just
Well,
like fucking
okay,
NCIS
so
this shit?
Only one person is technically at the keyboard, the other person's sitting back, like on a chair behind watching.
Oh, so you get kind of this backseat driver thing going?
Well, not entirely a backseat driver. It's just like we have two different jobs. He has the job of sound. I have the job of visual. And so
Okay.
while he's watching sound stuff, I'm watching visual, and I'll bring up something that makes his job harder, or then the director will come in, or the producer comes out, and they'll bring up something that makes my job harder.
Okay.
And it's a trickle down effect, like economic shit. I'm kidding.
Yeah. That sounds like more fun than what I'm doing now that wedding season's kicking in. I'm gonna have to start getting up at like I think my day's gonna be get up at about 7 or 8, go to one job, go to the other job, like go to Amazon, and then come back, go back to the kitchen and work until like 10 o'clock. Yay, weddings. They pay, but they're a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, I had to get fitted because my older brother is getting married in September. And
Oh.
I had to go to Men's Warehouse and get fitted for a rental suit that's going to cost me $250. Now,
I'm gonna be going
I
to
don't
my
care if
I'm gonna be going to my cousin's wedding this weekend. It's down like way the fuck out in the middle of the woods in Oregon. And I think the dress code is casual as fuck. I'm hoping it
See-
is. The nicest thing I have is a polo. I'm not wearing a fucking suit. We've been over this.
my brother's wedding is in Georgia.
Oh. Oh god. Oh god.
Right?
In September?
Yeah.
Ugh, you're gonna feel like your clothes will never be dry.
Yeah. Basically.
Oh,
And
God.
I'm gonna be wearing like a rental suit with, a button-up, freaking vest and a jacket, all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this is probably not the most, sane person thing to say, but $250 for a suit, I'm not taking it back.
Yeah.
Like, I'm spending that much, I'm keeping it.
It's not a rental anymore.
No, it's
Oh,
mine.
man.
I'm gonna get myself a vest and everything, and they're gonna come after me for stealing, basically.
Yeah. And then, oh god, at work, so, at Amazon, not fucking catering, my manager walked. And, we had a little, powwow with the, station manager, the guy who runs the whole building. He has literally no shift leads now. It's all shift assistants.
Okay, so your manager decided he didn't want to work there anymore. Is that what you mean by walked?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was there at the beginning of my shift, asked me to help a guy set up his little key code so he could log in, and then went to our station manager and said, "I'm done, bye," and
Jesus.
just walked out of the building. And we're all like, "Okay, well, we don't need you?" Question mark? Because I mean, like, we know what we have to do for fucking same day. That's not hard. But it's like, no, everything's being dumped on the shift assistant, who doesn't quite have all the permissions that the shift manager had. So,
Someone's gonna...
if a problem comes up and he can't fix it, he's got to escalate it to the station manager instead of going to his immediate superior. Because, and station manager's already dealing with, like, corporate. So it's like, I got to interrupt your shit to fix this, that, the other thing. We did get a temporary manager to come in, and he was replacing another manager that was leaving, like put his 2 weeks in and everything, not walking off the job. So that's fun. Yeah, we have one manager for I don't know how many shifts, basically. And I might be getting promoted sooner than expected.
I was gonna say, somebody's about to get rushly promoted.
Oh yeah, I put my hat in the ring for shift assistant again, and now because the temp manager is like, so we got opportunities for moving up, and I went, I already applied. Hi. I have a degree. It's not a good one, but I have a degree. The recommended requirements just say go to college. I have done that. I think the temp has a philosophy degree. I'm just like, oh god.
I'm just working my way.
He's
through
even more
college,
clueless than I am.
I
He
mean,
just thinks he knows what he's doing. I
yeah,
half know what I'm doing.
he must not be worth his salt because he didn't see the manager leaving, like that day. Otherwise, maybe you guys would have been fine.
Yeah. 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 So
You had a
this-
psychology degree. Why didn't you notice this?
no, not psychology, philosophy.
Oh,
That's a
Just like, oh,
useful degree to have.
yeah. Why do you think he's working in a fucking warehouse?
philosophy. Like,
Why do you think I'm working in a fucking warehouse?
I don't know. Even with an English degree, man, I think you could probably get a better job than someone with a philosophy degree.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. It's like, what does a philosophy degree teach you? To think. What does life also teach you, or supposed to teach you? To think. Congratulations. You went to college to learn how to think when life should have taught you that already.
Right. I mean,
I don't know.
get me wrong.
There's a lot of
Don't get me wrong. The guy's a good dude, but it's just like, wow. I thought I was the the retard here.
I mean, you
the
could
cultured
easily,
retard.
Well, I can't say easily.
I can write
you
you a
could get a
sci-fi
job.
novel. Don't ask me for help on taxes, please. That's math.
You could definitely get a job doing like
Like technical writing.
Technical
That's what I want to
writing,
do.
yeah.
I want to get into like making manuals and internal documentation.
yeah, you could get a job doing that. What can he get a job doing? I think
Managing,
therefore I am.
managing an Amazon warehouse. That's the best he can do. Fucking hell.
Yeah, and he had to work in that warehouse first.
He's coming from DSC 7, which is further south, way further south. They don't even have same day. I think they
Oh,
just handle returns.
Eh,
So he's kind of whipping our RTS crew into shape, and at the same time we're like, hey, you're gonna get same day. Watch what we do. And give us pointers on what we're doing wrong. But just watch what we
I have
do.
no idea.
He's like, okay.
I have no idea what you're doing wrong. I've never done this before.
Basically. Oh. Work. Yeah, and then fucking Wednesday. Wednesday I'm going to be in the warehouse while everyone else is going to be running a 100% like German themed party. Like the dude wanted our
Why?
because that's what he wants. Wants us to do he wants us to do the catering for his party, but it's all got to be German food.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I thought you were talking about everybody else in the warehouse.
Oh no. Other job.
I think you lucked out then, buddy.
Yeah. And he's like, "Can your bartender wear lederhosen?" And we're like,
No.
No. I mean, we know someone who has lederhosen, but no.
I just checked back into the conversation. What?
Yeah, he is I don't know. I can't say he is Hitler levels of German because that implies something else, but he is like very, very much on the angle of it's gotta be all authentic German cuisine. Like I spent 2 hours a day making a fucking pickled herring salad.
So then, why didn't he get a German catering company?
Because we're closer. That's
Well,
why.
then everything. Okay, so if he's willing to compromise, then fuck him.
He wanted us to go down to some Bavarian meat shop in Seattle and get everything. And we're like, you're gonna have to pay the fuck up for that. Because,
What do you say?
he went and did it himself.
Oh, he bought it himself.
He made the trip himself. He and his wife went
Oh.
down to get everything.
Oh, cool.
And
Well,
we're
hey,
like,
that's not
cool,
terrible.
that saves us an entire day. Thank you. We don't have
This
to
is going
spend
to work somewhat.
Yeah. So it's dudes got us making like fucking Reuben pinwheels, the fucking pickled herring salad. I don't even know what else.
Sauerkraut.
Yeah, yep. We're not making that from scratch. Fuck that. It's coming out of a fucking jar. I can't be bothered to make fucking sauerkraut on my own. You kidding me? That takes time. We don't have time. Yeah, this dude.
There was something to do with sauerkraut in the Revolutionary War. I don't remember what it was.
Angry Germans. Wait, that's World War II.
No.
Never mind.
The Germans weren't angry in World War II. That was everyone else.
This is true. This is very true. Oh, man.
Perhaps I should bring up the stream so I can see the chat.
Yeah.
Probably.
Because
that's the conversation I was kind of checked into.
it's like Topaz is talking with Merc and Merc's ignoring Topaz, kind of, not really. Fucking. But hey, interaction is good. Interaction is good. We like interaction. That means YouTube says, "Oh, this is relevant." No, like our show.
Sorry, we're not gonna get very much interaction from Merc right now in the chat because he's responding to me and no Pav no.
Oh.
I'm seeing that.
You guys just sharing lewds in that fucking.
A little bit.
Hmm.
I posed a question to him, and his opinion is valid because he actually knows a little bit about 40K. I'm not sure about Doom lore, but I know he knows about 40K. Well, Merc, focus.
See, yeah, we brought you back in. We brought you back into this chat where you belong.
Focus, Merc.
Oh man. All right, shall we get into the news for the week? Just make like Philly D and jump into this bitch.
Sure. We can do
I'll
that.
go first.
Although we can't really be Philly D because the New York Times won't smear us. So
The New York Times.
Oh yeah. I remember
If
that.
we had an audience of bigger than 2,
hey, we got 26 hits last week. I think that was because it was all fucking Keanu Reeves in the title.
Completely.
Oh man.
About E3. I mean, we could keep talking about E3.
I didn't
There was a
even
lot of
watch
stuff that
every.
happened.
I got to Cyberpunk and that was it. I'm like, okay, I don't need to see anything else. I'm on the hype train as much as I hate Mike Pondsmith.
Mike Pondsmith?
The guy who created Cyberpunk, he was one of my teachers at DigiPen. And he was not a good teacher.
Really?
So, which was it? GAT 210, Game Applied Theory. We had to make these board game prototypes, and the class was tasked with taking Autism Fortress and turning it into a tactical board game. And he had been stressing this whole time that, okay, this is a prototype. Visuals don't matter. What really matters is, does your game function? Do the classes you come up with in the manual feel true to their digital counterparts? So it's got to be fast-paced, it's got to be fun, and you got to come up with different abilities or different instances that reflect like the heavy, the medic, the scout, so on and so forth. And you had to implement 6 of the 9 classes faithfully. Because some of them, like the spy, well, how do you deal with hidden information in a board game? Anyway, so I'm not much of a visual artist. I'm not much of an arts and crafts guy. I came up with this really bare bones prototype, and I got a D. Because apparently my manual was the wrong size. And this dude gave an A to a guy who had like the worst, like the most poorly written manual, but he had a laminated board with colors, he had box art, his manual, as poorly written as it was, had fancy art, it was also laminated. This is stuff you had to go out and spend money on too, like your own money. You couldn't
Right.
like you
Right,
couldn't
right,
just
right.
print all this off at the in the
So basically, you bought an A.
Yeah. And I went, "What the hell? You told me visuals don't matter." And he goes, "Yeah, well, they kind of do." It's like, "Well, well, I'll tell you what. You can rebuild your game and submit it again for up to 50% of the credit you lost. So the best will get us a C minus." Yes. No. I am not doing that. That is a waste of my time. Because you're asking me to do 3, and the deadline for this rebuild was only a week. So I had to redo a month's worth of work in a week. And I went, no. I'll just take the loss and try to do better on my next project, because this is stupid. Well, it's about following directions. Yeah, but when your rubric is so fucking vague, like, okay, bonus points for the manual being quote unquote slick and fancy. What does that look like? Does that mean not Comic Sans? Or does that mean full on fucking good artwork ripped from the game? It's however you want to take it, but then my definition of slick and fancy doesn't meet his. Also, I can tell you straight up. So Pondsmith was fired from Digipen for taking student prototypes, recreating them, and selling them with his name.
I could see that.
And the president of the college was having none of that. He's like, I think I heard someone say, his words to Pondsmith are, "I'm firing you, and you're lucky that's all I'm doing."
Yeah, because, I mean, even though the material wasn't copyrighted legally, it still is plagiarism.
Well, how it works
morally.
is how it works is everything at Digipen created by the students belongs to Digipen.
Oh.
So technically,
Well, that's completely retarded. You're kidding.
it's
Then
not
I
it's not as
ahead.
it's not as black and white as you think, because so Portal, developed by Digipen students, they made the prototype and used it as a school project. Well, Portal
Yeah,
took
but
off.
they presented it to
So their
they presented
prototype,
a few things.
well, their prototype called Narbacular Drop, is owned by Digipen. That prototype is owned by Digipen. But the mechanics, portals, that's not a Digipen thing. Just what they created. So you can put that on your resume and say, "Hey, I made this in school," and they're not gonna get mad at you for it. It's like, well, yeah, this is your body of work. Come on. But for Pondsmith to start selling student prototypes with his name, the school was like, no. No.
Well, so what you're saying is they're both scumbags.
Yeah, Digipen also charges, when I was there, they charged $600 per credit, which is what Carnegie Mellon charges.
Wait,
And
per credit or per class?
Not per class, per credit.
Okay,
And
so
if you
some of the
want to be,
classes that I was taking were
and
5 credits.
if you
each.
want to be out in 4 years, your average course load per semester has to be 22 credits.
Right. So
That's 7 to 8 classes. And yeah, Mark, I'm as a drop, but I've had people who want, like, "Oh, you went to Digipen, I want you," but then they're like, they want me to code. And I left Digipen because I fucking hate coding. I hate it. I fucking hate it. It's not fun. That, and I don't really know any of the like the really deep ins and outs of a lot of these languages I've learned. I know like the basic building blocks. Like I can do basic coding in Java, C, C#, C++, ActionScript, Python, Zero, which was a fucking dumpster fire. I'm sure it runs now, but at the time it didn't. But yeah, everyone's like, hey, you want to come code for me? I'm like, no. I'm going to want to kill myself. Like, dude, one of my friends offered me a job at Microsoft to join his coding team. And I asked him what he's doing, and he gave me all this complicated stuff about architecture and so on and so forth, all this really technical shit. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Do you need a technical writer? He's like, I wish. Like, look, you have me join your coding team. All you're going to get is a guy who sits behind everyone's shoulder and fucking grammar Nazis the hell out of their comments. That's it. And fucking Kyle was like, that actually sounds like a really good idea. But, yeah, so, okay, rant over. TLDR, I was in Digipen. I took a class from Pondsmith and I hated it. But I fucking want Cyberpunk 2077. So.
I want Cyberpunk 2077 and freaking,
And not debt from Digipen. That's what I'm paying off.
Oh, that's what you're paying off?
That's what I'm paying off.
Holy shit.
I want Doom Eternal.
I want Outer Worlds.
And I want Cyberpunk 2077. I don't care about Outer Worlds, but
Well, then you're not my friend.
Oh, I see how it is.
Okay, so I've seen like a shit ton of people kind of talk about the gameplay demo that they got to experience at E3.
Mm-hmm.
And the consistent statements is New Vegas in space. And that is the best string of words I've ever heard in my entire life.
I'd have to look more into Outer Worlds then. That doesn't sound half bad.
Well, it's made by Obsidian. It's an open world.
That sounds less than half bad.
What do you mean? Oh, you don't like Obsidian?
No, I love. Oh, I haven't finished New Vegas, but I'm saying, oh, it's New Vegas in space. Oh, it's Obsidian.
Yeah. I am. Know that?
I am down to 25% disinterested. Down from 50.
It is. What I'm really upset about, to be completely honest, is if they came out with like, if Outer Worlds came out next month, I actually wouldn't care that Cyberpunk 2077 is coming out in April of next year, because I'd be fine. I'd be playing Outer Worlds until April. But
right.
No, it's coming out in October, meaning I have the timing between those two games sucks.
I'll be playing Destiny until 2021 when Stalker 2 hits, and then, boy, when you see me again, I'll be speaking Ukrainian.
Okay, hold on. What did they announce? Stalker 2?
Stalker 2, 2021. It's been on the site for. They didn't announce it at E3, but the release year is 2021. Probably going to be Q4, I'd imagine. But it's going to be on the. I think it's on the Unreal 4 engine, so I might be able to run it.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, as opposed to the fucking X-Ray, which is which was GSC Game World's own in-house engine, and it kind of works until you turn on dynamic lighting. Then you can run the game for about 10 minutes, and then it crashes.
Why is there a Fallout 76 video on an article about Stalker? What is this shit?
Because Fallout is the Stalker of the United States?
No. Maybe 3 in New Vegas. Or I mean kind of 4, but not like. I don't know, that just I would say Metro Exodus is, but that's still Russia.
Metro Exodus is in Russia.
Yeah, it's still Russia.
I actually haven't played Exodus yet. I played the
Go ahead.
I liked it, but I burned through it too fast.
Did you
That's how
finish
a
it,
lot of
or-
shit
Oh, I
is.
finished it. I finished
Oh,
it
okay.
in like 20 hours, like 2 days.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's actually pretty long.
And my one gripe with it is the maps at the beginning start out very open and very exploratory, which I liked. I got kind of a good stalker vibe from that. And then they get more like some of them are linear because they have to be. Like the last one's very linear, but it makes sense. There's one in the middle that's very linear, but it also makes sense. But as you progress through the game, they get more and more linear, like they were running out of time.
Sort of like how Gears of War was. When you
First
first
one?
play, yeah, the first and the second one. When you the first couple of levels feel very open and exploratory.
Yeah.
You know, like you can actually explore the world a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but then they just narrow in, and like it's very obvious that there's no off the beaten path that you can take.
Yeah. I think the first mission you get to or like once you leave the Volga, I think is where I spent the most time. Because they're just like, oh my god, I can walk around. It's like Call of Pripyat all over again. I love this.
Somebody mixed Hideo Kojima's face with Todd Howard's.
I don't like the idea of this.
I posted a picture of it in live show.
Did we actually start the news segments?
No, we
No.
haven't.
Did
Not
we
yet.
get distracted?
Well, okay, so
We started
technically
talking
we
about
weren't
games, and then
distracted.
I went ballistic on Pondsmith. Fucking.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're right.
okay.
I'd say
So-
technically we weren't distracted. This is just the opening segment.
Got
Still.
it.
Speaking of which,
So, which one are we gonna do first?
Where is
Oh.
my D6? Fucking.
no, I'm reading the first one and I already know which one it is.
Do
Space
it.
aliens are breeding with humans.
Aha. my
University
choice.
instructor says scientists say otherwise. My S's are terribles.
Nice.
And you're not even the drunk one.
Outlander's claim has a secret breeding program creating alien human hybrids who can survive climate change.
Fucking what?
Oh. Okay. Uh,
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
I thought the opening title of the article was already just
Over
crazy
the top.
Did Al
yeah.
Gore write this?
enough. All right, let me know when you got it.
It's probably Man
formatted
Bear
correctly.
Pig. Yeah, we're good.
All right, maybe you've never seen any space aliens, but recent polls indicate that up to 6% of Americans claim to have been abducted by them. The inexperience doesn't sound pleasant. Inexperience. Wow. Yeah, I'm the sober one.
I'm
The
only a
experience
drunk
doesn't
one.
sound pleasant. The extraterrestrials are often said to take their captives into their saucers, lay them. This is a fucking NBC news article, and it's written like this. This is weird as fuck. Captives into their saucers, lay them out on a table, and extract sperm from the men and impregnate the women. If you're familiar with UFO lore, you know that there are a couple of common explanations for these breeding experiments. One is that aliens are reproductive
Bind.
bind in a reproductive bind on their home world. So one of the small plot points in Stargate SG-1. They are they can no longer successfully procreate, and so they have come to Earth to use humans as incubators to spawn alien offspring. The other is that aliens are protecting or producing hybrid
Producing.
beings. I'm just gonna stop reading now. That will somehow help them take over our planet. Scientists, of course, are dubious of such claims. After all, there's never been any good evidence that the abductions are taking place. No one ever seems to bring along a cell phone or take photos or to pocket an artifact from the saucers. But an instructor at the University of Oxford in England believes that the abductions are... Whoa. And he still has a job?
Doesn't have a boonie head out in
She-
the middle of Arizona bitching about Roswell.
Chi, who teaches Korean at the university, also claims to know what the aliens have in mind. In lectures given at the... Oh my god, he's giving these in lectures.
He's a fucking Korean
said-
instructor, and this is what he's on about. Wow.
He says they're creating alien-human hybrids as a hedge against climate change. Are we sure we just not have a bad translation? Like, to support his
The state of college, everybody.
unorthodox theory, Chi notes, for several decades, the number of reported alien abductions have risen. He based his statement on the work of David Jacobs, sounds very credible, a retired Temple University historian who has published several books on unfloggably, and who runs the International Center for Abduction Research. Okay. Jacobs has interviewed more than 1,000 people who claim to have been abducted using hypnotic... Oh god. Why am I having such a hard time reading? Like, I've gotten better, but right now I'm just...
Do we have to give you a comprehension test?
Hypnotic resignation regression that apparently allows them to recall their unearthly encounters with aliens. Mind you, this too is controversial, and Jacobs himself has admitted that the people should be skeptical of these recollections. Chi takes the claims to face value and links the growing number of abductees cataloged by Jacobs to the increase in atmospheric greenhouse gases. He doesn't imply the cause and effect. The abduction experiment is not responsible for the global warming, rather it's a reaction to it, and the extraterrestrials are producing hybrids that can better withstand the rigorous of toastier planets.
Oh, you
By
mean Italians?
producing by producing a new model of Homo sapiens. This project will eliminate the need for difficult climate accords or... Wait, hold on. What? That's retarded? That it will eliminate the need for difficult climate accords?
Yeah, like
Or...
different countries coming together to deal with climate change through
Yeah,
legislation.
that doesn't... It's
Doesn't
not
make any
just
sense.
humans that are going to be affected. If...
Jesus Christ.
No, that... Yes, humans are the only ones that are going to be affected by climate change. Alright, let's start with there.
Never mind everything else.
It would
Trees?
also help
Nah,
the aliens
they're
and-
fine.
You know, air or...
Air, yeah,
about
oxygen
landmass?
content. Fuck that. Yeah, no, whatever.
Who are said to be living among us by preserving the part of their DNA that's carried by the temperature-tolerant hybrids. Okay. Of course,
Is that a sexy
human
noise or a
alien-
disappointed noise?
I don't know what to say about that noise.
Neither do I.
Of course, human alien hybrids, no matter how well adapted to warmer weather, don't address the crux of the climate change problem. Even even unimproved
cracks me
humans
up.
can. What?
That still cracks me up. Aliens
I don't-
breeding with humans.
It's like, how do you know it'll work?
Oh,
Oh, Bigfoot. That's how. There. We got the proof, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Hook,
No,
line, and
Big-
sinker.
Bigfoot,
Bigfoot
is
is-
Chewbacca.
Chewdraka?
Chewbacca.
Okay. It's not what you said, but okay. I'll take it.
But
Bigfoot is Chewbacca.
Peter Mayhew is dead.
Be right back.
No, didn't you hear? Okay, so while Han Solo and Chewbacca were in the Millennium Falcon, they miscalculated while going into hyperspeed, and ended up in the 1940s on Earth. Crash landed, right?
Okay. Are you sure we're not talking about Captain Kirk and that gangster planet?
No, not in the 1940s. No, like 1800s or something. And Native Americans kill Indian. Gosh, alright, hold on. Why am I having such a hard time with this? Native Americans kill Han Solo. Chewbacca escapes. In the 1940s,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Indiana Jones discovers Han Solo's bones while looking for Bigfoot, which turns out to be Chewbacca. You've never heard that
So
before.
what you're saying is Harrison Ford is a time traveler.
Yes.
Man, he and Keanu Reeves must have quite a fucking rivalry going. Oh shit, Merc. On that note, the FBI actually released all the info they had on Bigfoot this past week. Man,
What?
that's something Merc said in chat. I have a
The
coworker
FBI
who's
posts 22 pages of its investigation into Bigfoot.
no joke. I have a coworker who's going to be very excited about that. Because
American
he's
Pacific
totally on board
Northwest.
for the whole Sasquatch thing, and I'm like, okay. I can think of worse theories to believe in, like Pizzagate.
We will get to that next week.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just cover all
Um,
22 of those pages in detail.
Yep,
That's going to be the whole stream next week. Maybe. We'll see.
maybe.
I don't know, Morty.
What'll be the whole stream next week?
So, Merck just said that the FBI has released all the info they had on Bigfoot with, like, this past week, which is apparently 22 pages worth of information.
Jesus Christ.
It's like, yeah, I'm like, what? It's a shock to
Okay.
me.
We are going to be discussing this next week.
All right. We got 3 votes for 3. Perfect.
We've got our show next week, guys.
Yeah. We got format. Let's see if work doesn't wet me out. I'm halfway through this stout and I'm feeling it. Local man's really feeling it.
Local man really feeling stout.
Yeah. I feel like a midget.
So this next thing goes over what we talked about of all the other problems with climate change. In addition, Chi's argument rests on the fact that two things have to be simultaneously increased in the past several decades.
Defecates.
Defecates. Oh,
The
come
number of
on.
reported abductions and the connection. Concentration. I know, I was just laughing internally. Of atmospheric carbon dioxide. Of course, many other things have risen during this time too, including the price of bacon and the number of TV channels. Oh, now we're getting into the sarcasm.
Oh,
Alright.
oh, wait. Price of bacon has increased? Bigfoot's real.
We already knew that.
Why?
price of
Why
bacon
would-
increasing does not prove, nor does it disprove the existence of Bigfoot.
The price of bacon increasing proves that aliens exist. So
price
does the
of
number
bacon-
of TV channels.
It's a pretty big jump from a coincidence in
Oh my
timing
God.
to an alien project to produce climate-resistant species. Eventually, this weird theory will be
Vindicated or vanquished by observation.
yeah, because that's what needs to happen. Chi says the reason we don't see the aliens is that they are largely unrecognizable. The first-generation hybrids still have physical features definitive to aliens. He told NBC News. What is this match thing? Has
Mock.
NBC?
Mock is NBC's science page. That's what we're on right now.
Oh.
Oh my
okay.
god, we have a gator. I haven't talked to Gator in fucking ages. It's a miracle.
SEO.
Yeah, SEO. Good on SEO. I'm not sure what you mean, my friend. Please clarify. I'm not gonna need any shandy after this. That's for
No,
sure.
no, you're probably not. I don't know what SEO is.
Just got to learn the magic of those TLAs. Yeah, I kind of dropped off the Saint server for a long ass time.
So have
Yeah, so have I. Can't really go in there.
I'll probably be in there for some Destiny tonight. We'll see. Oh,
Maybe.
Search engine optimization. Got it.
I thought we were talking about like people who work for a big company.
And Gator, aren't you subscribed? Are you subscribed to the channel, Gator?
I doubt it.
I
but
hope
think the
so,
last
or we're
time
not
he
coming back to the
watched it-
Saints.
I think the last
probably.
time he watched it, we were still on your channel, Buck.
Yeah, probably. And then I moved over to here, and everyone's like, "Will you have another channel?" What?
I didn't even know.
Yeah. I put another fucking video up last weekend. It was just me ranting into the fucking microphone for like an hour.
I haven't put up a video.
Wait, shit, you're serious? YouTube didn't tell me about it.
Really?
YouTube told me about it
Huh.
for once.
God.
Yeah, Mark, I saw SEO, I think, Sony Entertainment Online. Clearly, PlanetSide is involved in this conspiracy.
If PlanetSide was involved in this conspiracy, then it would be dead like PlanetSide.
Yeah, I haven't signed into PlanetSide for the better part of 2 years, and I spent money on that game.
I didn't.
I bought a fucking armor-piercing rifle for my engineer so I could make tanks move from across the map. Just be like, bye. Like, that's the thing, right? But the fucking... It's not a... I think it is a 50 cal technically, but it's a scout rifle. It's not a sniper rifle, but
I don't think we actually need to get into the details of it.
we're gonna anyway. No.
Well, I mean, we could pitch it into a jar and just send it to her.
No, I need to keep mining. We talking opinions or nuts? I don't know. But I want to keep mine.
I'm not going to finish that.
All right, moving on.
Next meme.
Y'all seen the memes talking about the jar of jizz, right?
No.
Collective nut, as in we're all nutting into a jar and sending it to her because she wants our collective nuts.
What?
Wojcicki wants our collective nuts.
The only cum jars I know of pertain to My Little Pony figurines.
Gross.
And that's not a good thing. I blame Wang for this.
I blame a lot of things for this.
All right, where are we going to next?
I don't know. We
how
have
about-
so many to choose from.
Yeah,
My comment had the effect I was desiring.
right.
All right, Russian man replaces Bentley. I'm just gonna say Bentley's wheels with tank treads. Fuck.
This makes me so happy. This is like something you'd see in PUBG, but it's more ghetto than fucking PUBG.
All right, we're watching the video to start with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me get the link up. I don't have nice transitions like Nick and Jeff do because I can't be bothered.
I'm currently being groomed
By what?
by a panda going through my hair.
Ah, I see.
Gotta play with those primate tendencies.
I don't know
Make
what.
sure she knows that the white ones aren't edible.
Yeah,
It's not snow either.
I somehow think she knows this. I don't no idea why she was going through my hair.
Okay.
All right, you got the
Bentley
video
time.
up?
Yep.
All right,
3,
I'm clicking play.
2,
Go.
Morty. Recent Russia. Of course there'd be a dude in Russia. It's always a dude in
Oh
Russia
my
that does
god,
this
that
shit.
looks actually quite amazing.
Does? Probably the most luxurious tank that exists right now.
Right.
All right, so here's my first question: how the fuck do you get in the car? Because I think the
Through the
door.
window.
Oh, okay. I see. They cut out the door to where it opens up over the treads. Oh, that car doesn't want to let go.
It doesn't win nearly as much as an Abrams, though.
That was pretty awesome.
I
that
want
was-
one.
I will agree.
I want one.
So
I don't have.
do we
I don't.
really
I
need
don't
do we actually need to read this? Sorry, excuse for an article. Oh wait, there's more to it.
a little bit.
Oh, there's
It's-
actually quite a bit to it.
Right. You
Oh
want me
no,
to?
never mind. Never
Yeah,
mind.
It's
There's-
pretty
there's like-
short. It's just.
Yeah.
There's like 8 articles on this one page.
Yeah. No. All I know is
Yeah,
that
we
dude wants to make his tanks street legal because the treads are rubber and not what was it? Not
metal.
yeah. So they
Something
won't.
along those lines.
They won't. I mean, really, like Abrams, Challengers, they all have metal treads.
Metal
So,
treads with a rubber boot on it.
Yeah.
On the individual treads.
Yeah.
So he created
so-
just a. I could see that snapping though. To be completely
Yeah,
frank.
the rubber tread.
Yeah.
No, those are actually pretty resilient. There's
But the problem with metal
It's-
treads is it'll damage pavement.
the roads, yeah.
Well, yeah, of course,
the
of course.
tank-
I'm
tank
just
treads.
talking.
Tank treads have the rubber boot on the bottom for shock absorption to protect the tank, not the street.
Yeah.
But no, there's snowmobiles use a fully rubber track on the back, and
Yep.
They're
actually pretty resilient. And they don't go on the street at all.
Did they? Did they
They're
just?
completely off road?
Did they just attach the two top axles? Like, did they offset them or something?
I
I don't think they've been offset. I think they've
Don't-
just been slapped onto the tank treads.
Oh, okay.
let me actually rewatch that.
I'm watching it just
'Cause-
over and over and over.
Because the front and the back end aren't at different angles. So
It looks like no, they've taken out the
They've cut the
trans-
body.
They've taken the whole drivetrain out of it.
yeah.
They put in a completely different type of drivetrain.
And honestly, like, thinking about it, it's impressive that the Bentley's got an engine powerful enough to run all this. What model Bentley is that? Is that a, oh, I can't think of the model.
Yeah, you're asking.
It's not a V.
car
It can't be a V8. It's not big enough to be a V8.
I tried to see how the drive wheels connect to the engine.
I can't tell. It almost looks like in some of this, it almost looks like they're just suspended.
Oh, okay. So they have had to move the drivetrain somewhat because the front wheel and back wheels on the treads, the main wheels,
Right.
are
Yeah.
forward of the front wheel wells and back of the rear
Right.
wheel wells, respectively. So they would have had to make some changes to the body too, like
Well,
severe.
like the body is cut.
Yeah.
Like, when you look at the way the body.
They also had to change how the transmissions work. They would have had to put in 2 transmissions, one for each tread.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because of the way it turns by slowing one side down or stopping one side while the other one is still going.
Or throwing one side in reverse if you need to make a quick turn.
Yeah, I mean, in order for that to happen, they would have to have 2 transmissions.
Yeah.
Or a transmission connecting to 2 transmissions.
Yeah.
And the main transmission, it just transfers energy to the 2 transmissions, and then in order for it to turn, you would either throw the left one into a lower gear or a higher gear, depending.
I imagine the Bentley's transmission has either been heavily modified or just gutted entirely. Probably gutted entirely.
It's like, and he's using a steering wheel.
Yeah. It's just
So
using a
there's
normal steering wheel.
There's a lot of programming that went into that as well.
Yeah. Oh, it's a Continental
Numerous
GT.
technical
That's what it is.
challenges. I'm gonna click this link really quick. Maybe that actually explains stuff.
I will agree. Yeah, it might not need something too powerful. The car is light. Like, rather than,
yeah.
a tank. It's not going to be able to handle, like, the head tank. But they've even cut off, like, most of the body. Which, granted, is a plastic frame, but...
What, the Bentley's got a plastic frame?
But, or are they metal? Not frame, but body. Like, the shell?
The chassis or the
Chassis.
Okay. It's probably fiberglass. That's what most cars are made out of these days, is fiberglass.
Yeah, the link just goes to another article. It doesn't actually talk about the challenges that he had to overcome in order to get it to work. That's disappointing.
And that one's smaller than the first. Great.
No, it's actually bigger. It's got more words, basically. That's it.
Just, I don't know. I'm watching this over and over. It's just.
Either way, it's really cool.
It's
Yeah.
fucking fun. I want one. I can't
All right,
afford
what's
it, but I
next?
want one.
Time to move on.
Yeah, what is next?
All right. So, are we going to Hong Kong or
Let's
Are we-
talk
Stephen Hawking?
let's talk about Hawking a little bit.
All right.
All right.
All right, this one's actually for the nerds out there. So, this article is taken from livescience.com, and it is talking about black holes. The title of this article is Stephen Hawking was right. Black holes can evaporate. Weird new study shows.
It says weird new study. What? Why would that be weird?
I don't know. We gotta read the article.
Uh,
So, in 1974, Hawking made one of his most famous predictions that black holes eventually evaporate entirely. According to Hawking's theory, black holes are not perfectly black, but instead actually emit particles. This radiation, Hawking believed, could eventually siphon enough energy and mass away from the black holes to make them disappear. The theory is widely assumed to be true, but was once thought nearly impossible to prove. For the first time, however, physicists have shown this elusive Hawking radiation, at least in a lab. Interesting. Though Hawking radiation is too faint to be detected in space by our current instruments, physicists have now seen this radiation in a black hole analog created using sound waves and some of the coldest, strangest matter in the universe. Okay.
God, I love science.
What matter were they using?
Not dark matter, but
yeah, but that's an interesting thing using.
All right, so pairs of particles. Paul, I told you a little bit about. Was it you or Buck that I told about this earlier?
Well, me and you
Hawking
were talking
radiation.
about. No.
Okay,
Didn't tell
so
me.
black holes. This is where it's talking about what Hawking radiation actually is. Black holes exert such an incredibly powerful gravitational force that even a photon, which travels at the speed of light, no shit, Sherlock, could not escape. I'm sorry, that a photon, which is light, travels at the speed of light.
it's for all the normies out there who don't know what physics is.
I don't know a single dumb person that doesn't know that a photon is light. While the vacuum of space is generally thought of as empty, the uncertainty of quantum mechanics dictates that a vacuum is instead teeming with virtual particles that flit in and out of existence in matter-antimatter pairs.
Huh.
Yep. Normally, after a pair of virtual particles appears, they immediately annihilate each other. Next to a black hole, however, the extreme forces of gravity instead pull the particles apart, with one particle absorbed by the black hole as the other shoots off into space. The absorbed particle has negative energy, which reduces the black hole's energy, I see, and mass. Swallow enough of these virtual particles, and the black hole eventually evaporates. Annihilates.
So basically, what it's saying is once it's gotten its, full,
Once it's
disappears.
gonna fill it, yeah, that. Huh.
So the thing with this is it ties into the law of conservation of energy, and or as it's a lot of people call it now, the law of conservation of information. The one constant in the universe so far, aside from the speed of light that's not even really constant, was information. Information can neither be destroyed, well, it can't be destroyed, so to speak. All
Right.
matter carries information on it, and that's where string theory comes in. So even if matter falls into a black hole, if you were able to manipulate the filaments that the strings that the particles are attached to, you could still read information off of it, right?
Right.
But if antimatter is constantly falling into this black hole, it's annihilating the matter already within the black hole. So
Yeah.
while we still have the same amount of mass in the universe, because the matter-antimatter pair, for every antimatter that falls in, a matter feeds away. So we still have the same amount of mass and matter in the universe. we don't have the information carried by the matter that fell into the black hole. And that's why people are freaking out about it.
Yeah.
So, let's see. This radiation is weak enough that it's impossible right now for us to observe in space, blah, blah, blah. Waterfall event horizon. Physicist Jeff Steinhauer and his colleagues at the Technion Israel Institute of Technology in Haifa use an extremely cold, now they're talking about a cold gas called Bose-Einstein condensate. I'm going to click on that link so I can get a little bit more information about that later. To model the event horizon of a black hole, the invisible boundary beyond which nothing can escape. And a flowing stream of this gas cliff, creating a waterfall of gas. When the gas flowed over the waterfall, it turned enough potential energy into kinetic energy to flow faster than the speed of sound.
Huh.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Instead of matter and antimatter particles, the researchers used pairs of photons, or quantum sound waves, in the gas flow. Oh, phonons. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it said photons. The phonon on the slow side could travel against the flow of the gas away from the waterfall, while the phonon on the fast side could not, trapped by the black hole of supersonic gas. It's like if you were trying to swim against a current that was going faster than you could swim. You'd feel like you were going forward, but you were really going back, and that's analogous. How do you say that word, Buck?
Analogous. Yep, you're right.
I was right. Analogous to a photon in a black hole trying to get out of the black hole, but being pulled by gravity the wrong way. Hawking predicted that the radiation of emitted particles would be in a continuous spectrum of wavelengths and energies. He also said that it could be described by a single temperature that was dependent only on the mass of the black hole. The recent experiment confirmed both these predictions in the sonic black hole. It's actually pretty cool. These experiments are a tour de force. Ronald Parentani, a theoretical physicist at Laboratoire de Physique Théorique of Paris Sud University.
French.
They always have to have weird words and shit in their fucking names. Let's see, where was I? It's a very precise experiment. From the experimental side, Jeff Steinhauer is really, at the moment, the world-leading expert of using cold atoms to probe black hole physics. Parentani, however, emphasized that this study is one step along a long process. In particular, this study did not show the phonon pairs being correlated on the quantum level, which is another important aspect of Hawking's predictions. And that's it. That was actually really informative. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys want to know what a Bose-Einstein condensate is?
I have an idea, but enlighten me.
I don't know. It's actually an article.
It's like a
It's the link I clicked for further information a little bit later, but I think we have more articles that we could go over, unless there's things that you guys want to discuss from this one.
Like, I can remember when Bose-Einstein particles were discovered. That was back in like it's after 2010. It was like 2013, 14, something like that. And
No, it was the 90s.
no, really? What am I
Yeah.
thinking of then? There was some particle that was discovered in the last decade. Was it Higgs boson? Am I thinking of that? Maybe.
I'm not familiar.
Well, there we go. I don't know my science, so I can't be a sci-fi writer. Fuck me. Yeah, let's move on.
Right.
But to what? I'm not sure.
Well, we got about 15 minutes. So, are we
What?
wanting to go?
Do we want to talk about the organ farm?
Yeah, is that what you guys are wanting to do?
Sure.
Oh, it's a Guardian article. Oh my
The Guardian.
The Guardian.
This would be a good article to close things out.
Mm-hmm.
China is. Who wants to read it, actually?
Buck hasn't read any.
No, good. Let me pull this up in the browser. Okay, from The Guardian. China is harvesting organs from detainees, tribunal concludes. I'm going to be slurring like mad because this beer is hitting me really fucking hard. It's only one, but it was 11%.
Drive down here and give me one of
No,
them.
I don't want to be arrested.
We probably end up in a ditch before morning, to be honest.
And I did. I'm in a ditch 5 feet from my fucking driveway at this rate. Are you kidding me? Alright. Victims include imprisoned followers of Falun Gong movement, China tribunal says.
Oh, so some of the people who are trying to hide out in Hong Kong. Okay.
Wait, okay. I'm kind of distracted by this headline in the sidelines. Alex Jones sent Sandy Hook victims files with child sex abuse images, say lawyers. What?
I saw that too.
We might save that for next week. We'll see. But holy shit. Let me tell you about the globalists, and also here's your daughter being diddled by a bunch of adults. What do you think about that? I don't know. Fucking.
Did I just find my screwdriver?
Maybe you did. An independent tribunal sitting in London has concluded that the killing of detainees in China for organ transplants is continuing. What? And victims include imprisoned followers of the Falun Gong movement. I don't like the sound of this. The China Tribunal, chaired by Sir... What? It's not even chaired by a fucking Chinese native. Chaired by Sir Geoffrey Nice QC, who was a prosecutor at the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia, said in a unanimous determination at the end of its hearings that it was, quote, certain that Falun Gong is the source, probably the principal source of organs for forced organ harvesting, unquote. Quote, the conclusion shows that very many people have been, very many people have died indescribably hideous deaths for no reason, that more may suffer in similar ways, and that all of us live on a planet where extreme wickedness may be found in the power of those, for the time being, running a country with one of the oldest civilizations known to modern man, unquote. He added, quote, there is no evidence of the practice having been stopped, and the tribunal is satisfied that it is continuing, unquote.
Huh.
The tribunal has been taking evidence from medical experts, human rights investigators, and others. What? Human... So, hold on. The tribunal has been taking evidence from human rights investigators, and they're going like, okay, yeah, this is fine. What evidence were the human rights investigators presenting? Like, what the hell? Among those killed, it has been alleged, are members of religious minorities such as Falun Gong. Persecution of the group began in 1999 after it had attracted tens of billions of followers and came to be seen as a threat to the Communist Party. Well, there's your problem. Just get the communists out. There was less evidence about the treatment of Tibetans. Uyghur, Uighur. I think it's Uyghur Muslims, or it's either Uyghur or Uyghur. That's kind of a weird word to pronounce. And some Christian sects. China announced in 2014 that it would stop removing organs for transplantation from executed prisoners, and has
God damn,
Dis-
fuck, you're fucking
Yeah,
drunk right now.
Yeah,
I've only had one.
He is smashed.
Yeah. This fucking dragon's
Damn,
milk, dude. I'm feeling it.
All right, in 2014.
Paul's gonna take over. You know it's
Yeah, I'm
that
gonna
bad.
go. All right, China announced in 2014 that it would stop removing organs from transplantation from executed prisoners that has dismissed the claims as politically motivated.
It's like
and
Jesus
untrue.
Christ.
The tribunal was initiated by the
International.
why am I
Okay,
so bad at
who's the better reader here, the drunk or the dyslexic? Audience, let's vote. Fucking
All right, I'm taking over.
Coalition of the End.
no. Pig is stepping in.
Okay,
What paragraph were we on?
the tribunal.
The tribunal was initiated by the So about
I found it.
okay.
The tribunal was initiated by the International Coalition to End Transplant Abuse in China, ETAC, and its members, all of whom worked without payment, included medical experts. Waiting times for transplantation offered by hospitals in China were extraordinarily low, the tribunal noted, often only a couple of weeks. Investigators calling hospitals in China inquiring about transplants for patients, tribunal said, have in the past been told that the source from some organs were from Falun Gong followers. Both former Falun Gong and Uyghur, that word, inmates gave testimony of undergoing repeated medical testing in Chinese jails. Jennifer Zhang, a activist who was imprisoned for a year in female labor camp, gave evidence to the China Tribunal about what she said were repeated medical checkups and blood tests to which inmates were subjected. He told The Guardian, on the day we were transferred to the labor camp, we were taken to a medical facility where we underwent physical checkups. We were interrogated about what diseases we had, and I told them I had hepatitis. The second time, after about a month in the camp, everyone was handcuffed and put in a van and taken to a huge hospital. That was for a more thorough physical checkup. We were given x-rays. On the third occasion in the camp, they were drawing blood from us. We were all told to line up in the corridor and the tests were given. Zhang, who fled China in 2001, did not see any direct evidence of forced organ removal, but since reading other accounts, she has questioned whether the tests were part of a medical selection process.
Fucking sounds like the Soviet Union. Jesus Christ.
This sounds pretty bad, yeah. In her
Like
statement
worse.
to the tribunal, I already read that, didn't I? No, I didn't.
No, you're
in
good,
her
you're good.
statement to the tribunal, she said inmates of the labor camp were not allowed to exchange contact details, so there was no way to trace each other after we were released. When anyone disappeared from the camp, I would assume that she was released and had gone home.
She was
But in
probably
reality-
shot.
Yeah, it's China. But in reality, that cannot be confirmed, as I had no way to trace others after my release, and I now fear they might have been taken to a hospital and had their organs removed without consent and thus killed in the process. Damn, that's fucking brutal.
That's worse than the fucking Soviet Union. Jesus.
It's like there's this mod in RimWorld where you can harvest organs from prisoners,
Ugh.
and yeah, I've never used it because it just skeeves me out, the whole idea of it.
yeah.
But still, this is just it's making me think of that. There have been, where was it? As many as 90,000
Here we go.
transplant operations a year are being carried out in China, the tribunal estimated, a far higher figure than that given by official government sources. There have been calls for the UK Parliament to ban patients from traveling to China for transplants.
I'm sorry, I just find that fucking funny.
More than 40 MPs from all parties have backed the motion. Israel, Italy, Spain, and Taiwan already enforce such restrictions.
Yeesh.
I mean,
I can
okay.
see why.
China insists it adheres to international medical standards that require organ donations to be made by consent and without any financial charges. It declined to participate in the tribunal.
Then why would you say that? Then why would you decline being in the tribunal if you've got nothing to hide?
Why should they take part in the tribunal if they've done nothing wrong? I'm actually with China on that one. Fuck you, I'm not doing this, and I'm not participating in your tribunal. You can go fuck yourself. China, it's their country. We don't have
they can
any
do what they want,
authority.
even if it means organ harvesting.
Technically, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the spin that is this CNN?
No, this is the Guardian.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah, this is Guardian.
They would be phrasing it like that. I don't know if China did anything wrong or not, but like, that's the implication, is that they don't want to be in the tribunal, therefore they're shady.
I mean, they are shady for not participating in the tribunal, but doesn't mean that they're doing what the tribunal is.
It's not an admit of guilt, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's
Right, they're not admitting guilt.
Not participating in the tribunal is not an admission of guilt. It is, fuck you, I don't have to abide by this bullshit.
It's a no comment. Kind of. I don't know.
More of I don't have, more of a I don't answer to you. Commenting on the claims earlier this year, the Chinese embassy told The Guardian the Chinese government always follows the World Health Organization's guiding principles on human organ transplant and has strengthened its management on organ transplant in recent years. On 21st March 2007, the Chinese State Council enacted the regulation on human organ transplant, providing that human organ donation must be done voluntarily and gratis. We hope that all the British people will not be misled by rumors. I mean, the tribunal heard reports of extraction of kidneys from executed prisoners from as far back as the 1970s. Most of the evidence, however, came from 2000 onwards.
It's a weird coinkadink.
I mean, yeah, I mean, bleh, that's freaking brutal.
Yeah.
And that was a great article to end tonight's show on.
Yeah. one hell of an article.
Kind of makes you creeped out.
China
Don't,
has had a lot going on.
Don't go to China, kids. That's what we've learned.
So like after Huawei, now there's just a bunch of other shit getting blown out. Huawei, the Hong Kong protests. China's got a lot going on. It's a really
that's
bustling...
right. Gator, yeah, you're right. They actually made that that mod part of the base game. It was a mod before it was the game was fully released.
For which game?
RimWorld.
Ah, of course.
Yeah, you gotta be a pretty scummy.
China is just the new Tijuana.
Tijuana.
They don't have tequila. They just have whatever the hell the Chinese drink.
You just take a drink and fall asleep, and then wake up in a bathtub full of ice with your side stitched up.
You know, it's funny because just go a little bit south from China and you get to Taiwan. It's like one of the One of the coolest places. Fred Technerd, at least.
Oh.
Have you ever been
Hmm?
like the kind of businesses and shit that's in Taiwan is just awesome.
Are
They
you, are
have-
you are you talking about the street legal prostitution with the ladyboys?
Not at all.
That's
I'm talking
Thailand.
Tech.
Oh, you're talking tech. You're talking about the ones with the prosthetics.
Yeah,
No,
you know,
Taiwan has...
full on cyberpunk like you do. Huh.
Yeah.
I'm just here to
See,
derail things.
What people don't understand is that the Cyberpunk 2077 is modeled off of Taiwan.
No, it's
Totally modeled off of
So
Totally
that's where
modeled off
Pondsmith went to get
of
inspiration.
Taiwan.
Oh man.
No, I almost made the joke a few times in conversations with people about Cyberpunk. I almost said Deus Ex did it first, just to see what the reaction would be.
JC, a bomb. Fucking. Oh. That's a good spot to end on.
It is. Gentlemen, closing arguments or statements.
Don't go to China. Just don't. It's too expensive. Don't do it.
I'm gonna find these aliens and breed with them.
You can start with Topaz.
Topaz, you have competition.
She's not listening.
Well,
She's not listening to me.
No,
that's
she's not listening to
unfortunate.
the stream anymore.
She's not in on the joke. Why?
What?
We need the viewers.
What?
Yeah, she got bored halfway through and left.
Feels so
Oh.
abandoned.
She can't even create a argument against it.
Shut up.
Mm-mm. Nope.
That-
See, you just gotta
that
talk the
hurts-
aliens into
that
having.
hurts my-
Just talk the aliens into having a threesome, and you're good to go.
That
True.
hurts my feelings, Topaz.
Well, how do you think it hurts mine? She's not interested in the things that I do.
I mean, being a
So,
cashier
so
is
you're
much fun.
so you're telling me that the only reason Topaz ever listened to the podcast was because you were on it and she wanted to jump your bones.
I mean, you can ask her that. I'll repeat that for you.
Man,
Was
that
it
means Pog got some celebrity status right there.
Started watching Locked and Loaded. Was it get into my pants?
No. Y'all
The
are
way
making
sh-
me mess up.
The way she responded
Of course
says
you can do
yes.
it.
I
That
know, I
is
feel the
exactly what happened.
same. Yep.
What are y'all
Gotta-
saying?
Gotta
Well,
get
if you were
a
watching the
piece
show,
of that
you
E
would know what
action
we're saying.
or that
It's
D
not
action, I
anymore.
guess.
Just the way she's pitching her voice with what she's saying, it totally
Fuck.
totally speaks of guilt. But that's okay because
Exactly.
Pav is getting some sweet action right now.
Don't remind me.
I mean, not like right this second, but he will probably tonight.
So mad.
I'm gonna punch Pig. When I meet him, I'm punching him.
Yeah, but that's already been established.
Yeah, so it's not like it's not like
Yeah,
it's gonna
you're
really
not-
bother me if you punch me when you were already
What?
gonna punch me.
You gotta come up with a new threat.
Yeah, and even the punching wasn't really much of a threat.
Keep in mind, dude's armed.
Yes, I am.
The dude is armed.
The dude abides because he is armed.
Pav.
Alright.
Oh, I already said my closing statement. You go.
Oh, okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am very boring when I haven't been drinking, but it does seem to be nice to have at least one sober person doing the stream, so that by the end of it, when everybody else is smashed, the sober person can take over reading.
I didn't do that bad.
That being said,
No,
I-
you did.
I knew what I was saying. I don't know if anyone
you knew
else
what you were
did.
saying.
that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the mixture of the different types of articles that we went over tonight. It was fun actually looking at different stuff rather than all politics based.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
So hope you guys will all join us again next week, same time, same place. Okay, maybe half an hour earlier.
Yeah, if I can get out
But
of
same
work on
place.
time.
Same place. And with that, thank you all and good night.
Good night, everybody.